Okay, so we'll save and close on that. The next thing we're going to do is create some account segments. Now, account segments are used when we can create a segmented account structure within Enterprise. Although we can create a segmented account structure, at the moment we haven't actually got the proper reporting tools to be able to get the data out of the segments, and also we can't put a segment onto a customer, another segment onto a stock item, for instance, so that it will automatically post into them segments. So although we've got the option there to create the segments, at the moment the actual use of the segments in a way of regarding reporting on them and getting the figures into them is somewhat limited, but we are aiming to get something in a future version of Enterprise where we'll be able to group by various segments to get figures and things like that in the chart of accounts. So if I go through and create a segments, now we've already got country, location and department in there, which is created when we already set up the company. If we needed to, we could delete these and we can obviously add new ones in from here. That's been done for us. So what we're now going to do is create some details for each segment. So if I go next, and then in here we're on the country tab, so we're going to add some countries in there, which is UK, United Kingdom, US, United States, PHP, which is Philippines, and FR, which is France. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is define some locations. So we've got MAN for Manchester, LON for London, LA for Los Angeles, NY for New York, PAR for Paris, and MC for McCarthy City. Okay, the last thing that we're going to do is create some departments in there. Now we're going to have ADM for admin, SAL for sales, PRO for production, and SUP for support. On the next screen we then set combinations up for them. So in France, because we're on the country tab, in France what we're going to have, well, we would have Paris in France. In Philippines we're going to have McCarthy. In the UK we're going to have Manchester and London, and in the US we're going to have Los Angeles and New York. And then locations, so for segment code LA, what we're going to have sales and production, we'll have admin and support in London, we'll have all four in Manchester, and we'll have sales and support in McCarthy, admin, production and support in New York, and we'll have all four again in Paris, for instance. Okay, so when I go next, we've then finished the wizard. What we'll then do is we'll go and create some nominal codes for that now using that template. So if I go into new nominal code, new account code, and click next, okay, this time we're going to use the chart of accounts template to create our segmented accounts. Just means we won't have to key all the accounts in, make it a lot quicker to generate this, just to show you. And this time we're going to go for a segmented account structure. And actually I'm going to just apply this to revenue and expense only, because that will mean we're not getting thousands of accounts created. And then basically it takes us through that wizard that we've just been through. So what segments are you going to use, what the segment details, these are the ones I've just keyed in, and what the different segments you want. So these are the ones I just selected in the previous wizard. So if I click next, you'll notice that the next button is now showing us depressed. I'm not going to click that again, or it'll go through and actually create them. So at this point it's showing me now these are all the ones that it will create if I want it to. Now I can untick some of these if I want to on the left hand side, so I can just select the ones I want. But if I was to click next at this point, it would actually go and put all them accounts into my chart of accounts, and it's going to make our nominal very, very large. So I'm going to actually cancel the wizard at this point. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is go and create an opening balance journal. Now an opening balance journal is just a normal journal, but we're going to date it at the end of December. So if I go into the new journal option, okay, and set my date back to be December the 31st, like so. Now reference 1 is going to be opening trial balance. Okay, and we're just going to key some of the nominals in. So we've got 0020 is going to be a 5,000 debit. Next line 0040, I'm just going to keep these in, it's quicker, is 2,000. 0041, it's going to be 1,000 on the credit. Oops. 2109, it's going to be 4,000 on the credit. 1103, it's going to be a 5,000 debit, and 9999, which is our opening balance control, it's going to be 7,000. Okay, so hopefully by the time I've done that, the journal balances. You see at the bottom of the screen that it does. Okay, so I'm going to save this journal. Okay, and that concludes the setup for the accounting. So the next video is going to go through the system manager setup.